So in today's class, we are going to see about AVL trees. Before proceeding to AVL trees, we will see why we need the AVL trees. For that, we need to understand how searching is done in binary search tree. So in case of a binary search tree, uh, any root node will have the right and the left children according to certain property. The left child of any node will be having a value less than that, and all the right children will be having a value greater than the node's value. And when we go for binary search tree, we can perform searching in less time. That's the reason why we go for binary search tree. And if you consider the binary search tree given in this slide, there are two search trees given, but both the search trees are for the same input. If you consider the numbers in the data, you will have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 in both the trees. And we have seen that in binary search tree chapter, we have seen that the height of the binary search tree is depending upon certain thing. Now let us see again one more time. So here, if you consider the first tree, which is shown in the left-hand side, that is skewed tree. Skewed tree is nothing but it is having children. If you consider that tree, all the nodes are having only one child. Okay, and first I'll insert 35. To insert 30, since 30 is less than 35, I will insert in the left branch. Similarly, when I get the data 25, first I'll compare with 35. 25 is less, so I'll compare with 30. 25 is less than 30, so I'll insert in the left branch. Likewise, I will proceed for all the data. So here, the arrival of the data items is nothing but 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and 5. So in this, I have a skewed tree. So the height of this tree is nothing but, if you want to find the height of the tree, you have to find the length of the longest path from the root node to the leaf node. So here, we have only one path. This is the longest path we have. And if you consider the length of the longest path, just count how many links you have in this path. So totally I have 6 links in this. So the height of this particular tree is 6. And here, the height depends upon the number of nodes. If you have 7 nodes, the height is 6. Here I have 7 nodes, so height is 6. If I have 100 nodes, height will be 95, 99 if it is a skewed tree. And we can say that height is now order of n. The height exactly depends upon the number of nodes. And if you consider another way of binary search tree, here the order of insertion of element is different than compared to this approach. So in this, I have a tree who is having a height as only 2, because I have totally I have 4 paths. All are having the height as 2. So here I have given the height as 2. And in this also I have 7 nodes, but the height is 2. So what is the formula to calculate the height in this particular tree? The height is nothing but log of n plus 1 minus 1. So here n is 7. So if you substitute the formula, you will be getting the height as 2. Okay, so for the same set of input, in one case we are getting the height as 6, whereas in the other case we are getting the height as 2. So in the first case, height is order of n, whereas in the second case, height is order of log n. Okay, here the base is 2. Suppose if I give 1024 nodes in my tree, if it is exactly left skewed, the height of the tree will be 1023. Okay, whereas if I go for this type of tree, if it is perfectly balanced, then I will have height as order of log 1024 to the base 2. That is nothing but 10. 10 will be the height of the tree. Now you can imagine the difference between 1023 and 10. If I want to search for a node in the first case, if that is a leftmost node, I have to perform comparison with all the 1024 elements. So my search is more. Whereas in the second case, maximum height is 10 only. So I'll be performing only 10 comparisons at the maximum. So I can save my time for searching the element when I go for a perfectly balanced binary tree. Okay, so now let us see how to achieve that. Before that, let me summarize the points. So whenever I want to search for an element in a binary search tree, the height of the BST depends upon the order in which the elements are inserted. We have seen that for the same set of elements, we got the height as 6 and 2 in 2 different cases. And because of this, the time taken to search an element in the binary search tree depends upon the height. If I want to search in the first tree is my maximum height. So I'll get the maximum time for searching an element, which is order of n. Whereas in the second case, the time is minimum, that is nothing but order of log n. Let us consider one more time. If I want to search for 5 in the first tree, I have to first compare with 35, then 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Finally, I'll compare with 5 also. Okay, then there is a match, so I will print that 5 is existing. So how many comparisons I have done? Totally 7 comparisons. Whereas in the second case, if I want to search for 5, first I'll compare with 20. Since my key to be searched is less than 20, I'll go and search only in the left subtree. I will never go to the right subtree because I'm sure that my element will not be existing in the right subtree. After that, I'll compare my data with 10, that is the root of the new subtree, and 5 is less than 10, so I'll again go to the left branch of that. Now I will compare 5 and 5, there is a match, so I will print that 5 is existing. Okay, so now I have done only 3 comparisons, whereas in the previous case I have done totally 7 comparisons. So now our aim is we need to perform searching in less time. So what is the solution now? You just reduce the height of the tree so that you will perform searching in less time. So how to reduce the height of the tree? Now only we have seen that height of the tree depends upon the order of the data. Okay, if height of the tree is depending upon the order, I need to have some method to change the tree or to rearrange the tree so that I can reduce the height of the tree after the arrival of the elements. So whenever you insert any data to a binary search tree, or whenever you perform any deletion in the binary search tree, make sure that you are going to balance your binary search tree. So what is the meaning of balancing? Now let us see that now. So now to achieve the balancing of the binary search tree only, we have a new type of tree known as AVL tree. So it comes under the category of self-balancing binary search tree. So before that, we will see for any set of input, how many unique binary search trees are possible. For that, let us consider the smallest data, that is 3 input only I am considering. But in real time, we will have many elements to be inserted in the tree. So now I have 3 elements, 35, 38, and 41. First, I'm going to take the elements in the order 35, 38, and 41. You can see here, I have just taken the same elements but rearranged them. I am considering all the combinations of the arrangement of all the elements. Okay, so first case, I'm considering 35, 38, and 41. First, I'll get 35. That will be inserted as a root node. Then I will get 38. I will first compare 38 with 35. Since 38 is greater than 35, I'm inserting 38 in the right subtree. Then I'm getting 41. I'm going to compare 41 with 35 first. 41 is greater than 35. So I'm going to insert in the right subtree. Then I'll compare 41 with 38. 41 is greater than 38. So again, I'll go to the right subtree. Now 38 is not having any right subtree to compare. So immediately I'll insert 41 there. So likewise, for different type of arrival of input, we have different trees possible. Now, if you consider this, I have totally 3 elements. So how many different ways of possible trees I will be having is 3 factorial. 3 factorial is nothing but 6 possible combinations you will have. So I have drawn all the possible combinations here. If you consider the combinations, out of the 6 combinations, only 5 combinations are unique. The last 2, which is shown in the down part of the diagram, both are same. The trees are not unique. Whereas the first 4 are entirely unique, and you can consider these 2 as 1. So totally you will have now 5 unique combinations of binary search tree if you have 3 elements in your input. So we have a formula to compute this also. So how to calculate the number of unique binary search trees possible? So the formula is, if I give you n as the total number of elements in my binary search tree, the total number of unique possible binary search trees are given by the formula 2n factorial divided by n plus 1 factorial into n factorial. So in the previous example, we have considered that n is equal to 3. So the number of unique BSTs are 2 into 3 factorial divided by 3 plus 1 factorial into 3 factorial. So I'm getting the formula as 5. So because of that only, we got totally 5 different unique binary search trees. Now, so we have now in the previous case 5 different unique binary search trees. But which one is having the least height? If you consider here, All the 4 trees listed on the top are having the height as 2. Height is nothing but length of the longest path from root to leaf. Okay, so they are having the height as 2, first 4. Whereas if you consider the last 2, they are having the height as 1. Okay, so we need to minimize the height. Now, let us see how to minimize the height. So for minimizing the height of the binary search tree, we have AVL tree. So this AVL stands for, actually it is given by name of 3 persons who invented Adelson, Velsky, and then Landis. They invented that in the year 1962. And this AVL is a height balanced binary search tree in which each node is associated with something known as balance factor. And what is the balance factor? How to calculate it? For every node, you can calculate the balance factor by subtracting the height of its right subtree from that of the left subtree. So if I have K as a node, for every node in the AVL tree, I am going to calculate the balance factor. That is nothing but height of left of K minus height of right of K. And once you calculate the balance factor, based upon that value only, you are going to tell whether the tree is balanced or not. To say that the tree is balanced, you have to consider the balance factor of all the nodes in the tree. And they should have value from a set of 3 allowed numbers. You can allow balance factor to be either -1 or 0 or 1. If any of the node in the tree is having balance factor other than these 3 values, we will say that the tree is not balanced. So if it is not balanced, what we have to do is we have to start balancing the tree by means of something called as AVL rotations. Okay, so now if I conclude about the balance factor, the permittable balance factors in AVL tree are -1, 0, and 1 for all the nodes in the AVL tree. And if you say that your balance factor is 1, it means that your left subtree is 1 level higher than the right subtree. And if the balance factor is -1, the right subtree is 1 level higher than the left subtree because we are substituting in this formula. If the balance factor is 0, both the trees are having the same height. That is, the left subtree and right subtree are having the same height. This you have to calculate for all the nodes in the binary search tree, not only the root node. Now, if my balance factor is not in these 3 values, what I'm supposed to do? I have to go for something called as AVL rotations. So we will perform rotation only if the balance factor is other than -1, 0, and 1. If it is out of these 3 numbers, your tree is balanced, don't do anything. And we have basically 4 different types of rotations. They depends upon in which direction you are inserting a new element. Because whenever you insert a new element, at that time only the balance factor will be affected. So you have to see what is the latest element you have included and in which direction of the tree that is included. Based upon that, we have something known as rotations. So there are 4 different types of rotations. LL rotation, L stands for left and R stands for right. And second is RR rotation, and then LR rotation, and finally RL rotation. We have 2 different directions, left and right. And with 2 elements, you will have 2 power 2, 4 combinations. So we have totally 4 combinations of rotations now. And here, the first 2 rotations, LL and RR, you can consider here the letters are same. When the letters are same, you need to perform single rotation to balance the tree. And in the next 2 rotations, the letters are different, L, R, R, L. So if they are different, we need to perform 2 rotations in the AVL tree to balance it. This is simply to understand. Okay. Now let us consider the rotations. First, let us focus on RR rotation. So let us consider that we have 3 elements in the binary search tree, 35, 38, and 41. Whenever you insert any element into the tree, you have to check the balance factor. If it is out of the 3 numbers, then you have to rebalance the tree again. So now let us consider that I am getting the first element 35. So I'll insert 35 because my tree is empty. I'll calculate the balance factor. When you have only 1 node, the balance factor will be 0. So here, because it is not having any left subtree and then any right subtree, so balance factor is 0. Then I am getting the next data 38. First, I will compare 38 with 35. 38 is greater than 35. So I will insert in the right subtree. Now I have done insertion. So I have to calculate the balance factor of all the nodes again, not only the new node, because due to the addition of the new node, the balance factor of the already existing node will be affected. So you have to calculate the balance factor of all the nodes. So remember one thing, the balance factor of leaf node is always 0. So calculate balance factor only for the internal nodes. So now for this node 35, balance factor is height of the left subtree minus height of the right subtree. In the left, there is no subtree for this node 35. So 0 is the height in the left subtree. In the right, height is 1 because you have to consider the height of the longest path. I have only one path and that is having the height as 1 since one link is present. So the balance factor of 35 is minus 1. So now both the nodes are having balance factor in the allowed range. So no need to go for any rotation. Now just try to insert the next data. So I'm getting the next data as 41. 41 is greater than 35. So I'll go and insert in the right subtree only. So next I'll compare 41 with 38. 41 is greater than 38. So again I'll go and insert in the right subtree. So now it is not having any children. So I'll immediately insert 41 as a right child of this 38. Now after the insertion is over, calculate the balance factor of all the nodes again. So the balance factor of leaf node is 0. And for 38, balance factor is height of the left subtree minus height of the right. 38 is not having any left subtree. So height is 0. In the right subtree, there is one link present. So height is 0 minus 1 minus 1. If you consider for 35, in the left subtree, nothing is there. So height of the left subtree is 0. In the right subtree, the height of the longest path is this one. This is the longest path. It is having two links. So height is 2. So 0 minus 2 is now minus 2. So now you have done the insertion. Because of this insertion, balance factor is changed. Check which is not in the allowed range. 38 and 41, no problem. They have the balance factor as minus 1 and 0 only. But for 35, balance factor is minus 2. Minus 2 is not allowed. So now, because of the insertion of this 41, your tree is now imbalanced. So now you have to calculate what type of imbalance is this. So how to calculate that? So now you have inserted the node 41. From this node, travel towards the root, okay, and find out which node is imbalanced first. Okay, so I'm starting from 41. I have to travel towards the root. So this is the first node, but it is balanced, so you can leave it. Go to the next node towards the root, 35. It is having the balance factors minus 2. So it is now imbalanced. Okay, so this is the first node which is having the imbalance. This is the smallest tree I have considered. So this is the only node present. But sometimes you will have many nodes whose balance factor is affected. That is more than out of this range will be, you can find many nodes out of this range. So in that case, you have to consider the first node from the node you have newly inserted towards the root. So now this is a node which is having the balance problem. So I have to balance this node. So how to balance this node? For that, first I have to identify what type of rotation or what type of imbalance is this. Now, start from this imbalance node, okay, travel towards the newly inserted node. You will come across many links, okay. So you give lettering for the first two links, okay. So here, from this node 35, the first link towards this new node is this one. I have to check what is the direction or in which subtree I have this link with respect to 35. So with respect to 35, this link is the right branch. So I am giving the letter as R. Then consider the next node 38. Now with respect to this subtree, where is your new node? It is here. So again it is in the right branch. Okay. So now I have to start reading from this imbalance node. Read the letters one by one. R, R. So it is called as RR imbalance. So whenever we have same letter in both, we have to perform single rotation. For RR imbalance and for LL imbalance, you have to perform single rotation. Now, in which direction I am going to rotate? So just read the letter. R means it is heavy in the right subtree. So you have to rotate towards the left subtree. That means you rotate in this direction. So it is anti-clockwise direction. So whenever we have RR rotation, we are going to perform single rotation about anti-clockwise direction. Now let us see how to do the rotation. So I have this tree now. So I am going to perform the rotation one time in the anti-clockwise direction. So when both the letters are same, think that I am going to rotate about this node, which is imbalance node. Okay. And imagine that there is a nail here. Okay. And there is a thread over the nail. You're going to pull the thread downward. Okay. Like how you collect water from the well. You will be pulling your thread. Okay. So like that you are going to do here also. You're going to pull the thread. There is a nail here and there is a thread here. I'm going to pull the thread downward in this direction, anti-clockwise direction. So when I do that, what is going to happen is this 35 will be coming down and 38 will move up. Similarly, 41 will also move up. You pull that, only one element is moved. Okay, so only one element is coming down. So how the tree will be now? I pulled 38 down. Because of that, 35 moved up. Similarly, 41 also moved up. So now this is my new tree after the rotation is over. Now you calculate the balance factor of all the nodes in the tree. These two are leaf node, so balance factor will be 0. And for 38, height of the left subtree is 1, height of the right subtree is also 1. So balance factor is 0. So now we have started with a tree which is imbalanced and we have done the rotation in the anti-clockwise direction because it is RR imbalance. So now the tree is perfectly balanced because all the nodes are having balance factor in the allowed range. So now this is an example for RR rotation. So now let us go on to the next rotation. So before that, this is a summarization of RR rotation. So first we started with this type of tree. It is RR imbalance because it is heavy in the right subtree, and we have done RR rotation. This rotation is named only after the imbalance. Our imbalance is RR, so we have RR rotation. But actually we are doing rotation in the anti-clockwise direction. So after the RR rotation is over, we are getting the tree like this, so it is balanced now. Now let us consider the same input, but let us see in different order. So I'm going to now insert the data 41, 38 and 35. This is the order. The same data only I have inserted in the previous tree also, but order was different. Now I'm inserting in the different order. First, I'm getting 41. It is a root node. So balance factor is 0. Then I'm getting 38. I'm inserting 38 as a left child of 41. Now the balance factor of both the nodes are allowed. They are in the allowed range only. For 41, we have to calculate balance factor as height of the left subtree minus height of the right. In the left subtree, I have one link. In the right, nothing is there. So I'm getting the balance factor as 1. Now let us calculate the balance factor after inserting 35. 35 is greater than 41, so it will go to the left subtree. Sorry, less than 41, so it will go to the left subtree. Then again it is less than 38, so it will again go to the left of 38. So now there are no nodes after 38, so I am immediately adding 35 here. Now calculate the new balance factor of all the nodes. For 35 and 38, it is allowed. Whereas for 41, the balance factor is height of the left subtree, that is nothing but 2 links are there in the left subtree, minus height of the right subtree. There are no links in the right subtree. So 2 minus 0 is 2. So now it is a positive number indicating that it is heavy in the left subtree. If you get negative number, it will indicate that it is heavy in the right subtree. Now it is heavy in the left subtree. So I have to now identify what is the type of imbalance now. So for that, again, start from the newly inserted node, travel towards the root node. Whenever you travel towards the root node, stop when you get the first node with imbalance. Okay, so that is the node you have to balance now. So first I'm starting with 35. I'm moving towards the root. I'm coming to 38. It is also having balance factor as 1, so no problem. Go one level up towards the root. Now I have 41. It is having the balance factor as 2. Now it is having the problem. So I have to balance this node only. Sometimes There may be many nodes with imbalance, but if you balance this node, all the remaining nodes will be automatically balanced. We will see them during the insertion. So now this is a node I have to balance. So I have to identify now what is the type of imbalance. For that, you have to travel from this node till you reach the newly added node. Give letter for two links only. Okay, so I'm starting from this node. I have to see in which direction I added the new node. It is in the left subtree of 41. So I'm giving here L. Then with respect to 38, 35 is in the left subtree. So you give L. Now start reading from the imbalance node. So first imbalance is L and second one is L. So this is now known as LL imbalance, right? So we are getting LL imbalance for the given data. I want to balance this tree now. In which direction I have to rotate? When the letters are same, you need to perform only one rotation and about clockwise direction now, because it is heavy in the left side, that is the anti-clockwise side. So you rotate like this. About the node 41, you rotate in the clockwise direction, okay, so that your tree will be balanced. Now let us see how to do the rotation. I'm going to assume that there is a nail in 41 and also there is a thread. I have to pull the thread downward. So when I pull the thread downward in the clockwise direction, what will happen? There is a thread here, I am pulling it downward. So 41 will come down. When 41 come down, automatically this 38 will move up. Similarly, 35 will also move up. So your tree will be now like this. We have pulled 41, so 41 is down, then 38 moved up and also 35 moved up. So now you calculate the balance factor of the new tree. All the nodes are having balance factor as 0 here. So what we have done is, we have started with imbalanced tree, we have converted into a balanced tree by means of LL rotation. And for this, we have done one rotation in the clockwise direction. Now let me summarize the point. First, this was our tree. It was having LL imbalance due to the addition of the new node 35. For that, since it is having LL imbalance, we have done one rotation in the clockwise direction and we got a balanced tree. Now, so far it is simple. We have done only one rotation. Now comes a case where you are going to perform two rotations to balance the tree. So one out of those two methods are RL rotation, another is LR rotation. First, let us focus on RL rotation. In RL rotation, I'm assuming that my numbers are arriving in the order 35, 41 and 38. First, I'm inserting 35, balance factor is 0. Then I'm inserting the new node 41, it is greater than 35. So I have to insert it in the right subtree. After the insertion, the balance factor of the nodes are -1 and 0 respectively. Now I want to insert the new node because both are now having allowed balance factor only. So go and insert the next node 38. So 38 is greater than 35. So you will go to the right subtree of 35. But when you compare 38 with 41, 38 is less than 41. So you will insert 38 in the left subtree of 41. Now you calculate the balance factor of all the nodes again. For this 35, the balance factor is height of the left subtree, which is 0, minus height of the right subtree. In the right subtree, you have two links from the root towards the leaf. So height is 2. 0 minus 2 is -2. It is not allowed. And for 41 and 38, we are getting 1 and 0. So it is accepted. So now we have the node 35 having the balance problem. So we need to now balance only this node 35, right? So first I have to find out the type of the imbalance. Start from this node 35 and proceed towards the newly inserted node. Give letter for two links alone. So first I'm starting from 35. First I am proceeding here because 38 is inserted in the left subtree. With respect to this 35, this is in the right part. Okay, so I'm giving R for the first link. Then I have to consider the position of 38 with respect to 41. With respect to 41, 38 is in the left subtree. So now I have given label for two links. Start from the root. that is imbalance node, and find out what is the type of rotation it is. Write the two labels consequently. So you will be getting first R and then L. So it is RL rotation. So when the letters are different, we need to perform now two rotations. So how we are going to perform the rotation? The first time you are going to rotate in the clockwise about the middle node. Why it is clockwise is, see, I'm giving you a simple method to understand. It is not the hard rule actually. The letters are RL. Okay, R stands for right. It is the clockwise direction. Okay, so you perform the rotation. If the letters are different, you perform the first rotation in the same direction as that of your first letter. So since it is R, I am going to rotate in the clockwise direction, but now about the middle node. Okay, so out of the three nodes, you consider the middle node, rotate about that node. So which is my middle node here? It is 41. I need to now rotate in the clockwise direction about this 41. I am assuming that there is a nail here and there is a thread here. I am going to pull this 41 down in the clockwise direction. When I do that, this 41, I am pulling like this. So it will come down. At the same time, this 38 will move up. Okay. Now, after that, this is my new tree. Okay. So I have pulled 41 down in the clockwise direction and 38 moved up to the position of 41. Now, is the tree balanced? You consider the balance factor of these nodes again. 35 is still having the balance factor as -2, because in the left subtree I have 0 height and in the right subtree I have height as 2. So again it is having -2. That's why we say when letters are different, in one rotation you can't balance it. You need to go for two rotations. But now what I have done in the first rotation is, first I started with RL imbalance. I have transformed now into RR imbalance, because you can see here both the links are in the right direction. Okay, so we have converted RL into RR by means of the first rotation. We have done the first rotation about the middle node. Now you know how to deal with RR imbalance. In case of RR imbalance, it is right. So you have to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction, opposite direction. Okay, about the first node. Okay, so now you rotate the tree about this node 35 in the anti-clockwise direction. That means I am going to pull the thread which is here downward in the anti-clockwise direction. Like this, I am going to pull. When I pull like this, the thread is here. When I pull the thread downward, 35 will come down. In here it will come. 38 will move up. 41 will also move up. So I'm having the tree like this. 35 is down in the left part now. Now you can consider the balance factor, recalculate them again. We are getting all the balance factor as 0. So this is our second rotation. So let me summarize about RL rotation. In case of RL rotation, you have to perform two rotations. The first rotation is, see the first letter, it is R. So you perform rotation in the same direction. So that means assume that R is your clockwise direction and L is anti-clockwise. So I'm going to rotate in the clockwise direction about the middle node first. I will transform RL rotation into RR rotation. That is RR imbalance. That is also imbalance only. So you need to go for the second rotation to balance it. That is, when both the letters are same, we need to rotate in the opposite direction. R means clockwise, so you need to rotate in the anti-clockwise. So after that, we are getting a perfectly balanced tree. In LR rotation, we are going to perform two rotations. Let us see in which direction we are going to perform them. So first, I am getting the initial node as 41. I am inserting that as the root node. Balance factor is 0. Then I am getting node 35. Since 35 is less than 41, I am inserting that in the left subtree. And balance factor of both the nodes are 0 and 1 respectively. So no problem for us. Then I am getting the next node 38. First, I am going to compare 38 with 41. 38 is less than 41. So I am going to insert in the left subtree. Then I have 35 there. Compare 38 and 35. 38 is greater than 35. So you are going to insert in the right subtree. So now calculate the balance factor of all the nodes. For 41, in the left subtree, the height is 2 because we have two links here. That is the longest path we have. And in the right subtree, the height is 0. So balance factor is 2 minus 0, it is 2. So it is having the imbalance. But here there are 3 nodes. So we are saying that 41 is having the imbalance. But the method to find out the imbalance node is start from the leaf node. That is the newly inserted node. Proceed towards the root. And in the path, you find out the node which is having the imbalance, the first node. So 38 is having balance. So 35 is also balanced. 41 is imbalanced. So fix this node now. You are going to perform rotation with respect to this node. Now find out the type of imbalance. For that, give label for two links starting from this imbalance node in the direction of your newly added node. So I'm going to travel to first 35, which is in the left subtree with respect to 41. Then I'm going to travel to this 38. It is in the right subtree with respect to 35. So start reading your labels from the imbalance node. First is L and the second one is R. So the type of imbalance is LR imbalance. So in case of LR imbalance, the letters are different. That means you are going to balance the tree by performing 2 rotations. So the first rotation is always in the same direction as that of the first letter. Okay. So here the first letter is L. That means that you are going to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction about the middle node. Okay. So the middle node is now 35. I am going to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction about this 35. So think that there is a nail fixed below this 35 and there is a thread. You are going to pull the thread in the anti-clockwise direction about 35. So you're going to, there is a thread here, you're going to pull the thread in the anti-clockwise direction. You see the cursor movement like this, I'm going to pull the thread. Okay, thread nail is here, I'm pulling the thread downward. So when I pull down, 35 will move down to the left. At the same time, this 38 will move to the position of 35. So what will be my new tree now? It is changed like this. So is the tree balanced? Calculate the balance factor again. For 41, the height of the left subtree is 2 and the height of the right subtree is 0. So 41 is again having the balance factor as 2. It means that it is imbalance. That means you need to still perform one more rotation. So what is our second rotation? For that, see what is the type of imbalance now? It is changed from LR to LL. So in LL, the letters are same. That means you need to perform one rotation in the opposite direction. L means it is left. That is in the anti-clockwise. It is assume that it is in the anti-clockwise part. So you are going to rotate in the clockwise direction to balance it. So the second rotation I am going to perform in the clockwise direction. But about which node? About the node 41. Okay. So now think that there is a nail in 41 and the thread is here. Okay. You are going to pull the thread down in the clockwise direction. Okay. So when you pull the thread down, what is going to happen is 41 will come to the right part and 38 will come to the position of 41 and 35 will come to the position of 35. So your tree will be transformed like this. Now calculate the balance factor of all the nodes. All are having the balance factor as 0. So that means the tree is now balanced. So what we have done in LR rotation, we started with 3 nodes. The type of imbalance is LR. So we did 2 rotations. The first rotation is with respect to the middle node, which has transformed the tree from LR imbalance to LL imbalance. Then we have done the second rotation about the node 41. Okay, and we have done it in the clockwise direction. Because of that, the tree is transformed like a balanced tree.